Namaskar, knowing the importance of the maritime sector, honoring the upcoming National Maritime Day, discussing about the seafarer issues. We have created a special segment with the experts to honor our seafarers on the National Maritime Day. To join us and to discuss the topic on career development and training opportunities, we have got Captain Gaurav Rana, who has got 25-year plus sailing experience, and he's the founder of Sea and Beyond. And apart from that, we have got Captain Gajanan Karanjikar, who is all over in the maritime industry discussing and talking about the seafarer issues and rights. बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया हमारे साथ जुड़ने के लिए. My question to Gaurav Rana is, sir, I was going through one of the reports which talks about obtaining proper certification is therefore the key to launching successful career in the maritime industry. One of the organization I'm talking about, Seaman Solution, can help you navigate this complex landscape and ease and proficiency. So how this organization is talking about these kind of certificates, and could you elaborate?
Right. So just giving you a context, people who are working in the non-shipping, non-marine world, right? For them, a certification is a degree, and which makes them applicable, relevant for them to work. For a seafarer to work on a vessel, it's not one certificate. It's probably about 25 odd certificates, and it gets specialized with the kind of work that person does. So it's a fairly complex thing for a newcomer who is essentially entering into the industry. So DG Shipping has laid down guidelines which help them to understand what kind of certification is required. There are, of course, MS notices and all other things coming through. But there could be many solutions like the one which you mentioned, which can help a person get the certification and making them applicable to sail on a vessel. But these are fairly well available in the public domain. Once a person enters the training institutes, help them to get them certified to sail on a certain vessels. So these training solutions are good to have, but not mandatory if a person can do his or her homework.
I'd like to bring in Captain Gajanan Karanjikar. Sir, same question to you.
Thank you very much, Gaurav, and the True Hunt. And today is a Gaurav's day. So, Gaurav's, S an apostrophe after that. So thank you very much. You both guys are very energetic, and I got a lot of energy from you guys. First of all, thank you very much. Why? Because it's today we are doing this on a National Maritime Day's significance. And National Maritime Day in India is celebrated with a lot of pom-pom. And the idea is to reach through the True Hunt the people who are not seafarers and making them understand about seafaring issues. Regarding your question of certification, see, the ships have to fly a flag. Now that flag is supposed to be a country's flag. There's a registration, like how you register your car in, some RTO in India. So naturally, that licensing authority to operate on those ships is given by the flag authority. Now, India is such a flag authority also. Now, India, with their certification regime being so strict, so neat and clean, and so free of malpractices, so India has been recognized as a whitelist in the IMO. IMO is, of course, International Maritime Organization. And with this, the seafarers, we have 152 maritime training institutes in India who facilitate DG Shipping for all this certification process and training of seafarers. Training is more important, and of course, certification is a result of that training. So what I would suggest is, your question is very, very relevant. Seafarers must obtain certification to be legally operating these vessels and operating them worldwide. So there's a certification of foreign going nature, which allows a seafarer a license to operate a foreign going vessel which operates in international waters. There are also home trade and coastal shipping certification which is also given.
Sir, as you mentioned that this profession is very certified and of course is very highly honored as well. My question to Captain Gaurav Rana is, sir, I was going through one of the reports which talks about the career at sea is both exciting, rewarding, offering unique experiences, opportunities to travel, the prospect of working is dynamic. Then why the ratio is less choosing this career? So what is your say, Captain Gaurav Rana?
That's a very good question. And I think this is something which we are aware of, and we are trying to increase the awareness of this profession. So number one is people do not know about merchant navy at all. I think the awareness may not be more than 5% of the population in India right now. The awareness, if at all, is only in metro cities, in tier 1 cities and tier 2 cities to a certain extent. There is a lot of confusion which happens between merchant navy and navy, right?
I'd like to bring in Captain Gajanan Karanjikar. Sir, same question to you. but I'll add one more line to it. Best practices for a successful maritime career. So could you elaborate on this as well as the previous question?
Sure, thank you very much. And Gaurav has almost answered the nature of job the shipping offers. It's tough. It's not something which is a landlubber's job, which he will go to the office in the morning and come back in the evening at home and be relaxed. So this is like, you remain in the iron structure. That itself, it's demanding job. And also it moves on time, because the purpose of the working on ship is to move the cargo, and cargo is time bound. Now, when you put these two things together, a lot of pressure is there. On the higher rank, a lot of pressure is there. So due to this pressure, not everybody's cup of tea the shipping job can be, at least the sailing one. So a lot of people don't opt for it. A lot of people are, as Gaurav rightly said, not aware of it, not aware of a career opportunity. And given today's scenario of Gen Z culture, today, there are many jobs which are much rewarding than the shipping job ashore, which are much satisfying careers in terms of quality of life. Because, on the ship, you have to stay alone and, away from family, away from loved ones. And, you go through a lot of FOMO movements many a times. So today's Gen Z is not opting that kind of a job, but still, yes, now the tier 2 and tier 3 needy and people who have come forward, join shipping, being very successful. You to work on a ship, you require a certain kind of a fire in the belly, which our time it was induced by the environment. It was there, the kind of poverty and middle class thinking and something like that. But today everybody is well to do off, but still, if you have a fire in the belly to do something different, travel a different, less traveled road, explore the world, explore yourself. It's very important and pertinent for our youngsters to join this career, because of one reason, that apart from monetary rewards, it also gives you a lot of self-respect.
Sir, I would like to ask you 3 words defining this career.
Discipline, admirable, and very courageous.
Very well said, sir. I'd like to bring in Captain Gaurav Rana. Sir, I was going through again one of the reports and, scrolling in detailed manner, which talks about the latest meeting of the STC was held in Geneva in May 2022 with agreement on number of changes, including, there are many changes, but I'll come to our current topic, which is on the career and training part. Clarification on the responsibilities for government to provide information to seafarers on mandatory systems of protection that must put in place by recruitment and placement agencies. So with this statement, where we are, what we are doing, could you elaborate on this?
What happens is that the DG Shipping, the Director General of Shipping, with any new requirement, with any new mandate which comes in, which is of course followed by them agreeing to a statute of an IMO, they share this information through various notices. Now, these notices are of course publicly on their website available, but to an individual, right? They wouldn't go to the website, they wouldn't check it day in, day out, they wouldn't be aware of what is happening on the latest. What additionally happens is that they also provide this information to registered companies who can employ seafarers on the vessel. So now it is the responsibility of those companies, those agencies, to ensure that the latest amendments, the latest changes, the new happenings are incorporated in their day-to-day work. These are informed to the seafarers through the new agreements, if it is affecting the agreement, or the certification, it happens through the training department, or through other means. It could be your normal email, it could be through letters, whatever means. These are the onus then goes to these RPSL companies, be the training institutes which are approved by the DG Shipping, and the information is always available on the website for anyone to see as well.
Very rightly said. Sir, I'd like to bring in Captain Gajanan Karanjikar. Sir, as we are aware that no doubt DG Shipping is doing some commendable work. So with this statement, how do you justify this, where we are and how we are progressing in this manner?
Very good question it is. The shipping is international business, international supply chain management, a part of that, So it does require, international standard. And this STCW, which is converted to the HTW now, which is basically a standard of training, certification and washkeeping. Now this training for washkeeping was a mandate given by the IMO to the countries who are operating the vessels, supplying manpower to the ships, and ships are operating in international waters. So of course, this mandate was given to the countries which are, certifying seafarers.
And India
not all
is
countries
one of them.
Seafarers. Yeah, India is a major one of them. India is major, like one of the top ones in China, and then the Philippines, and of course the India is the third country which is supplying manpower close to 3.5 lakh seafarers today. And another point to make here is that shipping is very reactive industry. I mean, people are trying to make it proactive. I mean, of course, it takes some time. So reactive in the sense, what I mean to say is that when an accident happens, new things come into it. So these meetings happening over the training and washkeeping standards of a human, which is a major resource, in managing ships. So these meetings, they capture the learnings of the incidences. They capture what is going wrong in the training as the seafarers are not able to operate ships properly or their accident take place. These meetings are very important, and I'm sure the India is taking very active. I mean, one of the Indian captains, I don't know, I can take his name here now, who is proposing to revise the entire SSW, HTW code, mandatory code imposed by IMO, is trying to change entire thing because we have to move. This code has been going on for last 50 years now, and it is time that we go on to the Gen Z culture and capture new learnings, capture new methodologies, pedagogies of teaching. So this is a very important discussion. And DG Shipping, I mean, by virtue of his excellence and his perseverance, he is leading these initiatives to take India into new heights.
I'd like to bring in Captain Gaurav Rana. Sir, I was going through Industry 4.0 report in shipping, implication to seafarers, skills and training. So I came across a general statement. I'll read out the statement and then I want you to elaborate on this. Industry 4.0 entails the modernization of work, which is likely to have an impact on individual employment, training and skills in the foreseeable future. Current debates on future skills for maritime operations tend to focus on technology as necessary requirements for workers to adopt to changes. Then the statement says, which is the main point I'm coming to, this technology-centered approach can be controversial as technology cannot govern how humans work and how they choose their careers after graduating. So how do you see this statement? Kindly elaborate on this, please.
I think this is something which is very, very close to my heart and something which the industry is grappling and will continue to, grapple over the next few years. So first of all, Captain Gajanan mentioned our industry is a little reactive. I would also mention that we are probably one of the industry wherein the changes come in at the last, right? So technology has been changing industries for, I don't know, maybe a couple of decades, at least maybe 3 decades, right? Industry 4.0 came into being maybe 10 years back, right?
Yes, yes.
Shipping is talking industry 4.0 now. One of the major reasons for this is the internet bandwidth on a vessel was never available. The satellite communication was so prohibitively expensive that you couldn't make calls, leave alone having an internet on board. With technology being more accessible on board vessel, with initiatives by persons like Elon Musk, now we are able to have access to the internet. Now, what is happening is with access to internet and an industry which has been a little late to adopt things, it is taking us by storm in a way that how the person would work, the skill sets required, and how will it change the whole dynamics on board a vessel. And now we've been talking about autonomous vessels for so many years, but now maybe 10-15 years down the line, this may be a reality. But the persons who have the skills which are not up to date or which are not so technologically advanced, will they be able to govern, leave alone the autonomous vessels, but the vessels which use technology? Probably not. So whether technology will change the industry, absolutely it is changing as we speak, every second, every moment. But more importantly, it's the people who need to be aware of the advantages and more importantly, the shortcomings of the usage of technology. They need to be skilled with the technology advancements. And once they do that, then the new advancements can be implemented.
I've got one special question for Captain Gajanan Karanjikar on that. Sir, same question to you. And of course, as he spoke about, the new technology and with the green shipping nowadays, so more changing of technology, the sooner we adapt the thing, it's better for us. So how do you see this question with the changing new green shipping coming into the industry now?
No, absolutely bright future ahead. And on the context of National Maritime Day, the seafarers, I mean, our human capital of shipping, seafarers, if India is supplying about 3 lakh plus seafarers, it's very important to discuss this topic. It should be basically a topic of a complete, talk show. But anyway, just to give you a brief, see, 3 things are changing in the world very fast. One is the way we are going to consume the energy. Number two is the involvement of AI in everything, not only shipping, in everything. And third, a very important thing is the speed of change. Now, all these three things are impacting the entire world. Shipping is not left alone. So, seafarers, being future ready is not only a discussion topic anymore, it's going to be a topic for action. And I'm very proud to say that the DG Shipping, of course, is working on it. Indian government is working on it. And where we have reached is, of course, as the technology develops, we will reach there. Like earlier, there was a hatomatic ship, could be operated by hand. Now the hatomatic has changed to automatic. Now there was a significant change. People need to change their skill set. Development of the, skill set handling, like Hito spoke about autonomous ships. I'm telling you, autonomous ports. Maritime is developing the entire port autonomous. Tuas is a terminal in Singapore, which is absolutely autonomous. The containers don't even see human face. If container had to have eyes, it would be surprised to see not any human around, So when you have these kind of things changing already in the world, we need to have our manpower, human capital ready for it. And, all go gears, everybody is contributing to it. I mean, whether it's spreading awareness, making them ready, putting into syllabus, it's a huge process again. It's like changing times. So the industry 4.0 is here to stay with. Maybe a next version of 5.0 will come with a lot of artificial intelligence into it. I'm sure, the seafarers are going to have a very fun time. And we all are also into very interesting times, sailing through with this in shipping and as well as in all other worlds.
Sir, as you said, right action. So right action have got a good reaction. With this, we can say that the use of AI also would make sure that maximum jobs are created rather than reducing the jobs, and the use of manpower should be in the right way. So I'd like to bring in Captain Gaurav Rana. Sir, as you talked about the curriculum part, we have got a special education policy which is rolled out, implemented, no doubt. I'm 2020, I'm talking about NEP, the National Education Policy. So what the National Education Policy is playing a role to establish a good curriculum so that in the initial stage, the people choosing career of seafarers coming into merchant navy would be helpful for the industry as well as for their benefit. What do you say on that, please?
Thanks for the question, Gaurav. I think with NEP coming into being, what has happened is that more practical aspects of the day-to-day learning is coming into being, and people are now more practically oriented and are aware about many more things than they were earlier. And honestly, shipping is one such profession where for you to be successful, for you to be efficient, I mean, while theory is important, the practical aspects of things, the seamanship part of the thing is the key for you to be a successful maritime professional or a leader on board the vessel. So with this new policy, I think this is something which, with the new people coming in, with the new cadets coming in, we'll hopefully see better talent coming to the fore.
The same question to Captain Gajanan Karanjikar. Sir, what is your say on this, please?
Importantly, NEP is being a game changer as to how we receive education, how we perceive education. I mean, education has to be there to conduct the life, ahead. And most important thing, I think, so NEP, which has brought, which is already there in Merchant Navy, as Gaurav rightly said about practicality of the education, application of what you learn is very important. The another thing is very important is vocational training. The concept of education is very important. The concept that has been captured in NEP, which is already there in Merchant Navy, because the entire professional education is based on concept of navigating a vessel in water, making ports, carrying cargo from point A to point B. So these all things are there. Most important thing is the local knowledge. The local knowledge, what we had. I mean, I'm really very thankful to this government. I mean, without this government, this wouldn't have happened.
Sir, as you were talking about locally being aware, so as the motto of the government of India is vocal for local and then local to global. So how the things are going, and especially related to the seafarers and the maritime sector. Please elaborate.
No, true. I was saying about the NEP being, a very blessed instrument today because, it talks about that local knowledge which is required to be used in this kind of professional trainings. And India has got a lot of local knowledge and, of course, local to global will definitely happen. I mean, those days we could not spread our knowledge because, we didn't have the mediums. Now we have people like you spreading awareness everywhere. So, so definitely the word is there to listen and know as to what Indians are doing.
Very well said, sir. I would like to mention that with your last words that, of course, we are proud Indians. India is showing globally in every sector now. Sir, last liner to both of you. As ज्ञान से आगे बढ़ने की जरूरत है, तो ज्ञान से ज्यादा क्या हम मोटिवेशन की तरफ ज्यादा आगे बढ़ सकते हैं? तो क्या कहना चाहेंगे? I'll start with Captain Gaurav Rana. I want just one liner from you, sir.
India is the 16th largest maritime country, top 5 ship recycling nation, 30% share in the global recycling market. Where I want and on the National Maritime Day is India to aim and become the #1 maritime nation. And I can see that earlier it was the seafarers and only seafarers who were making their mark. Now all the other value-added services, everything is coming to India, and I want India to be there at the top level.
तो कह सकते हैं कि ज्ञान से ज्यादा हमें मोटिवेशन की जरूरत है अपने यूथ में. Sir, what is your say? One
I
line.
I have a slightly different view than motivation. On this National Maritime Day, all people who have maritime interest and national interest at their heart should put opportunity first more than the gyan.
तो लास्ट में सर हम ये कंक्लूड कर सकते हैं, जय नाविक दिल से जो है हिंदुस्तानी.
Yes, Jai Hind, Jai Navi.